Should you learn? Should you teach? How should you go about life? How should you go about expressing yourself when it comes to your passion? What do you do exactly? And now you're caught up in the thought of what do I do, so you don't end up doing anything. Javon, tapping back in. And sorry if it seems like I'm being a little quiet. I'm in a environment I'm not used to, coming to you live from Princeton, Indiana. I am at my partner, relationship, situationship. I'm at her father's dwelling, which he lives in an apartment building type thing that he built himself on top of his furniture store. So he is an entrepreneur, wealthy guy, and he does not like me. So I'm going through that shadow work, but what I wanted to come to you today live with, as you guys know, I just film my life, speak from where I am, and I allow these videos to be kind of like my songs in a sense, since, you know, at heart I am an artist, and I believe a teacher and a student of life. However, when you don't have any recording equipment, what better thing to do than to hold a phone in front of your face and speak your truth, right? So what I wanted to dive into first here is, where do you go when you have the mentality of, what do I do? What do I do next? I'm confused. Which path do I take? And the only reason I'm speaking of this now is because it's something I believed I've just conquered. I've just overcome. It's common that along the journey, if you have any interest in self-improvement or spirituality, that you're like, okay, this is cool. All of this stuff is awesome. I've watched 1,000 YouTube videos by now, and I just kind of dilly-dally, and anytime someone says something that resonates, I'm like, oh yeah, I've heard that before. But there's no implementation. There's zero action and integration of what you're learning. Back in 2021, I came across this medicine called bufo, right? And it's essentially a compound from the bufo toad that contains 5-MeO-DMT, a very powerful substance that some people call the God molecule. It's been said that people have their first oneness experience. I most certainly have. And I say this to say, it wasn't the experiences themselves that changed me. Although very potent and very powerful, it wasn't the experience itself. It was just, how do I put this? If you can, drop the word just from your vocabulary. That weakens, you know, in speaking, when it comes to, I don't know if this is probably backwards, fearless public speaking. It's a random book I found on the clearance rack at Barnes & Noble. Eliminate just from your vocabulary. I was just asking because, no. I was asking because, see, subtle difference, but it makes an impact on the subconscious. So as I was saying, it wasn't bufo that changed me, it was the implementation. It was the, okay, I've had this profound experience with this amazing group of people that get it. We're on the path to getting it, to understanding our oneness and likeness of God, and spreading light to the world, and letting people know that we're not equal. We're not equal. We are not equals. We are not on different playing fields here. Yes, in the 3D realm, yeah, you're a carpenter, I'm an entrepreneur. Okay, there's a status game going on here. That's cool. But we are all children of God here. We are all sons of God here. Gender doesn't matter. And this is what we're realizing as we're, you know, in this bufo class. I have these people around me, I have this powerful medicine, but I'm not changing. I still see distortions. And yes, there still were distortions. You know, one of our teachers had an alcohol problem, which I didn't know of personally. I'm like, oh, no wonder the X, Y, and Z is going on, right? And no shade towards her or anything, but I have this thing where I have intuition. When there's something going on, I can tell. When there's energy that's contracting and that's not for the greater good, if you know what I mean, I can kind of snuff it out. I can sniff it out. But when I'm not in a place of authority and I paid this money, I kind of have to go along with this to get my energy exchange here, then we experience some friction, because the rebellious part of me comes out. Well, I want to do this my way, because I see that some part of you isn't capable, which was the case with my teacher and I, teacher student. Okay, let me take the reins here. So, and she's in a much better place now. But I had to go through that. We have to go through that and then take that out into the world. We have to leave the mission, or I don't know if it's, you're at the church, you're at the congregation, you have to go out into the field, to the battleground, to the mission field, right? And that's what that was. That was back in 2021. You know, the reason I'm at my partner's father's dwelling is because she's moving here. You can kind of see in the back. It's a work in progress. There's still like tools and stuff everywhere, but I have no part of it, so let it be what it is. You know, there's a door kind of just chilling. Can't go in there. But what I'm saying is she's moving here, and I'm still in Texas. I still live in Texas, so I just, you know, I accompanied her on the 12-hour U-Haul drive here, which wasn't bad, but it was a new experience. And when it comes to living out your goals and really having a plan, because I first developed, I came up self-improvement, but then I went spirituality. I was like, fuck a plan. Fuck a plan, right? Because God's plan is all that matters. But really, that's not grounded. We really do need a plan, okay? So when it comes to my plan is to have a center outside of the States to be able to invite people to come sit with the medicine. Don't be on any medications, no SSRIs or anything. And to be able to have that experience, not just to sit with the medicine and then buy, but to sit with the medicine and then have an integrative process after. No matter how long that takes, there can be some type of agreement that is agreed upon. But all in all, that is the next move. And that is what I feel like is being actualized. And surprise, we are outside. I'm at this big, massive, see that? Town hall, I'll say city hall. Picking right back up where we left off of. Oh, I just happened to change flannels too. I moved a bunch of boxes and I got really hot, so. Guys, at the beginning of this video, I had said something along the lines of, what do you do if you're in that state of where you just don't know what to do? You've had all these realizations, maybe not, maybe you're completely unconscious and you're just a derper, you're just, dude. Maybe you just so happen to come across this video, and if that's the case, thank you, God bless you, stick around because you'll need it. And I don't mean that facetiously, with all the love, really, stick around. So here's what to do. Okay? And this is paradoxical because I can't tell you what to do. Don't listen to anyone that says, you don't know what to do in life? Go draw. Don't listen to them, especially if they draw. Or especially if they're like, I don't know, if it's not even contextual to them knowing you or knowing anything about you, right? Because I can't know every single one of you that watches this video. But what I do know is this, and this is fundamental for everybody: follow your passion to the best you are able, with no insistence of any particular outcome. Maintain a positive state while you do that. And as you do that, uncover the beliefs, the untrue beliefs that you'll eventually find that says, you know, oh, I'm too anxious, I can't follow my passion in this way. Because sometimes when you do that, you'll discover that what you once thought was anxiety was actually passion, and what you once thought was passion was actually anxiety. For many of us, that's the case. And so that fundamentally, one of my mentors said, that is the starter kit. That is the full kit you need for life to work in your favor and for your life to eventually become a spontaneous synchronicity. So what does that look like? We'll break it down, right? And I'll get back to my Bufo goals in a second. Follow your passion. What is that? Well, passion is the literal sensation of excitement that you feel in your body. Maybe you once played football and you really loved it, like you were really into it. Like A-team, varsity, all that shit. Sizzling in your bones, like I just can't wait. I can't wait to go on the field. And you know, even to the effect of, I have to be perfect. Like Tom Brady, if you've seen his mentality, I can always be better. I can always be better. That's good. That's really good, and that's better than most. But again, what is that part of the formula we just said? It's following your passion the best you are able, better, with no insistence of any particular outcome, right? So it's a paradox. And just a quick disclaimer, this is a formula that I got from Bashar, who is a long mentor of mine. Definitely check him out, bashar.org. The formula. Just look up Bashar, the formula, if you want to go any deeper into this. He also has videos of himself talking about that as well. I won't go any deeper into who Bashar is or what he does. That's not the point. Anyways, I digress. When we follow our passion to the best we are able, it's a physical sensation. It's a joy. It's that inner child feeling that we get, that we just know, oh, that's it. But maybe, and this can be passion too, maybe it's, oh, I'd love to do that. And yeah, this is what I want to do. This is what I want to do. And maybe you keep saying, this is what I want to do. And then you keep on, this is what I want to do. But then when it comes down to nut cutting time, when it comes down to the nitty gritty, and like, okay, time to go do the thing. What are they going to think? Oh, well, everything's not perfect. I don't have a $1,000 camera to record. I can't, my voice isn't that, I don't have 100,000 followers on social media. I'm not an authority figure. All these things come up when it comes to, in this instance, creating content. But when it comes to drawing, I don't have the right fucking colors. When it comes to building an acting portfolio, I've never been in any star movies. Record on your iPhone right now and show the world how good of an actor you are, yes? Because if source is in you, it's gonna pour out and it's gonna be undeniable, okay? So that's following your passion. It's the physical sensation. It's your emotional guidance system. Maybe some of you have heard of that you're like, oh yes, this is it. This is in alignment right now. Granted, it is not this nuanced. And I always want to say the nuance because there's always some and to every statement. Improv, right? The nuance is if you're like, yes, but you're like about to do like a line of coke or something. Granted, you're in that 0.0001% of people who that's like your Scarface or something, like that's actually your passion. That is absolutely anxiety. I'll be the first to tell you. I have a very fixed belief being, tuned into the Scorpio archetype, and I own it. Granted, I know this isn't law for everybody, right? Maybe doing cocaine is a necessary step for your journey, and I get that whole spiritual perspective. But 9 times out of 10, when it comes to following your passion, that is not the way, okay? That is definitely passion disguised as anxiety. I think I said that right. Or anxiety disguised as passion. That's it for sure, right? I don't know. I digress. I digress. To the best you are able. I need to blow my fucking nose and I have no tissue. There's literally nothing I can do but blow a snot rocket on the ground and use my shirt. So it's a good thing I edit these. Maybe I won't edit it just to show you how authentic it is. Like this is just real life vlogging. Like I'm not gonna, oh yeah, just edit that out. No one has to see that. Like no, this is real. Like I'm talking and congestion. I haven't been eating that healthy and I own it, right? What do I do when I don't know where to go? When like blah, blah, blah. I know the thing that I want to do, but like, what's the blueprint to getting there? Well, it's taking agency on yourself. It's becoming probably your own personal brand in a sense, but it doesn't always have to look like that, right? That's kind of me projecting my own experience and many others who I'm learning from. Start by following your passion, as we just discussed, to the best you are able. What is to the best you are able? Push it as far as you can. There's nothing wrong with continuing to do it for hours and hours and hours. And for your passion to take twists and turns and to deviate and to look like something that it didn't look like at first, that's the point. It's not supposed to look logical, right? And that's a trip. That is a trip to any Western mind at some level. It needs to look a certain way because you're conditioned by the draconian, the Marxist school system that teaches you in a wrong way. We'll just leave it at that. It teaches you in a very logical, left-minded, wrong-minded, insane-minded way. So take your passion, push it to the best you are able. Like really do it. Don't just do, I did a little bit. I did a little bit and it kind of hurt. No, take it, keep going. It's okay. You're safe. You are always concealed in the container of your loving creator. Okay? Let's just take a minute. You're always supported by God, by source, by the universe. Always. You're okay, you're safe. And, oh, but I'm not significant. I'm not a nobody. I'm a nobody, right? I'm not a somebody. This is how you become somebody, if that's even meant for you. Yes? Are you with me? With that being said, you can always, always, always feel comfortable enough to keep going with your passion. Keep pushing it. There is no set point in the universe. You can only do your passion this much, then you must stop, right? No, that's not what we're doing here. That's why you see people working for like 16 hours in a day. And you're like, what are you doing? Like, what? Why? Like, get a life. And they would probably reply to you with some effect of, bro, this is my life, you know? This is what I like doing. This is where I find the most benefit. This is where I find I can serve the most people and also serve myself and those close around me, right? Whether it be money, whether it be value, which the two come hand in hand, but it's all in service for the greater good, for the creator, because we are the created, right? So that is following your passion to the best you are able. And if you're still with me here, what do I do when I don't know where to go? When I feel lost in the world? When I maybe I'm just coming out of a depression or a dark night of the soul and I'm just like, what the heck, man? What was that? What did I just see in myself? I saw all these nasty, disgusting parts. Where do I go from here? That's what we're still continuing to sift through. Following our passion to the best we are able with no insistence of any particular outcome. No. You can't. You can't do it. If you have an insistence on how it needs to happen, it's always going to happen exactly how you don't want it to until you learn the lesson. Does that make sense? Until you forgive it, until you're like, oh, that's it. It doesn't always happen the way we want. You know, you even say that consciously. It doesn't always happen the way we want, but you still want things to happen the way you want them to. Why do we do that? Is that not literal insanity? Yes, it is. Oh, but I'm not insane. Insane asylum is there. I'm here. I'm not insane. Oh, but you don't get it. And it's okay. Forgive them, for they know not what we do. Forgive them, for they know not what they do. Forgive everybody, for no one knows what anybody's doing until we open up and become channels for God, right? So follow our passion to the best we are able. Follow our passion to the best we are able with no insistence, zero insistence of any particular outcome. That is the balance of follow your passion to the best you're able. Because when you do that for the sake of following the passion itself, that is what the universe is looking for. That is what that's literal manifestation, or if you've ever looked up the law of attraction, you set your intention by following your passion, and then you let it go by having no expectation of what it has to look like. You can set all the goals, you can set all the indicators of where you want to go, ready, aim, fire. I'm going there. But if I don't land there, it's okay. It's cool. I have no attachment to it because this is all illusion anyways. I'm only respecting the illusion by following my passion. I know the truth in the sense that none of this really matters. We're only here as beings of love, thinking that we're beings of fear, that we're sinful beings, that we're separate from our creator. And for the ones that know, they know. But we respect the illusion by following our passion in whatever way that looks like for us. For me, that's creating music, that's rapping, that's singing sometimes. That is teaching, obviously. That is being a student of life. And that's going throughout my day-to-day experience, step by step, and remembering. Whether it's repeating a Course in Miracles thought, which it has been lately, or, okay, here I am, Lord. Like, here I am. I'm here. What would you have me do? What would you have me do now that maybe I didn't see before at a lower level of consciousness, before I asked this question, before I opened myself up, right? So when I do it for the sake of following passion itself and not, I have to get somewhere, I eliminate anger, and that anger turns into more passion. And that passion, once I do it for the sake of itself, as a means to itself, that allows me, I'm like, I'm doing it just to do it. I'm doing it because this is what I vibrate with the most in this illusory world where I think I'm a body. I don't have to get somewhere because I'm gonna die anyways. And when I get to it, I can only enjoy it for a limited amount of time, and then I'm done. I'm in the ground. I'm no more. Bye, Darian. Bye, Jivan. So when we follow it for the sake of itself, and I know I'm hammering this in, we release anger entirely. And all of that turns into passion, in which we can move into the fourth step of maintaining a positive state while we follow our passion to the best we are able with no insistence of any particular outcome, yeah? Why maintain a positive state? Well, because what you maintain, it seems obvious, yeah, but kind of just sit with that for a second, because I just want to dive in and answer it. Why would let's see, if I would maintain a positive state while following my passion, okay, well, that means that no matter what's around me, no matter what I see, I'm maintaining a positive state. So if I see some negative things, well, I'm still in a positive state. And maybe if that negative being, if it is, sees me in a positive state, maybe, just maybe, they'll turn positive too. They'll get a positive impact. And maybe it won't happen at that second, but maybe I'll plant a positive seed. Maybe if I'm positive, I'm not affected by my circumstances. Maybe if I'm positive, anything, a shitstorm could be happening around me. A turd storm could be happening around me. And here I am. This is metaphorical, of course. I don't know if literal. I'd probably lose my shit, no pun intended. I'm good. I am the eye in the center of the storm, no matter what's going on, because I'm maintaining a positive state. And on top of that, hey, look, I'm following my passion to the best I'm able, and I don't have any insistence on how it needs to happen. Now with this, it's pretty self-explanatory, this fourth step, and I know you're still with me here on where do I need to go? This is where you need to go. Follow your passion to the best you're able, no matter what it looks like. And that's the key. There are infinite things that can happen in this world. Infinite manifestations of infinity, right? I'm sure it runs out at some point with it being an illusion, but there's a lot of shit. You could be a water bottle designer. Yeah. It doesn't always have to be something like public speaking or being like a billionaire or something. No, it's probably what you're conditioned with, which is really anxiety. Just that takes some unprogramming, in which your passion would be in that moment to follow the steps in which it would take to unprogram you, yeah? Which for me has been A Course in Miracles, and a lot of the dark side of that, probably sifting through my shadow, seeing a lot of ugly parts of myself, of other people, of binge watching so many videos just over and over and over and over and over again, just really drilling this into my skull. It was a long time I didn't believe it. You know, I'm not saying do that, but that's what it looked like for me. And I'm grateful for that, because I've suffered a lot of unprogramming, which is not suffering, it's paradoxical, but you get it. So while maintaining a positive state, I'm following my passion, I'm good. I'm taking it as far as I can take it with no insistence of any particular outcome. I'm straight, I'm good. After a positive state, where do we go? We look to let go of negative beliefs. Let go of any beliefs that may have been serving you up until this point, but now they are impeding you from following your passion, from following your greatness, from actualizing yourself. Self-realization, this is it. Where do I go? What do I do? Well, let's let go of these beliefs, since we're at the end of the formula, which is exciting. This is all you have to do. Because you are following your passion to the best you are able, with no insistence, while maintaining a positive state, you now have the awareness and the wherewithal to let go of what has been hindering you from doing what you are doing now. You're able to let go of what has been hindering you from doing just that, following your passion. You should be excited. Although it's not always going to be comfortable, you should be grateful. You get to be grateful. Should is another one of those words we don't really want to say too much, but I don't want to should all over you, you know? We get to be grateful that this is the case, because why live under limiting beliefs, especially when you're aware of them? That's what's a dark night of the soul is. That's what's painful as fuck, is seeing all these limiting beliefs and feeling like you can't do anything about it because you're so aware, but you just don't know how to let it go. That ignorance is bliss, right? I'd rather be unconscious and aware that I'm a, fucking automaton robot than actually be aware. Like, that is suffering times fucking 100. So anyways, you want to be able to, again, follow the passion to the best you are able with no insistence of any particular outcome, while maintaining a positive state. And now we're here, we get to let these beliefs go. Now that looks like sometimes a physical, really tuning in with our awareness, closing our eyes, becoming aware of what it is to be let go of. Sometimes that is just a quick, oh, cool. But you know what it always involves is forgiveness. Really having the desire to see that as part of yourself. Really having the desire, oh, I'm not gonna suffer over this. There's no way this is gonna take me out of my element, because this is coming up to be let go, right? And when I do let this go, I can more effectively follow my passion and continue down the route that God wants me to go down. Because your will and God's will is ultimately the same. It's not some father bearded guy punishing you and commanding you to move a certain way, or that's gonna judge you at Judgment Day for all of the bad shit that you've done. It's not like that. Religion would have you think that, but it's not like that. If you believe it's that way, then it may be that way for you, okay? Granted that we are all operating under individual belief systems here, it doesn't have to be that way. That's pretty much it. That's my cue, right? That's pretty much all I have to say. We're 20 minutes in this video particularly, more than that. And as I come to a close, that's what's helped me. And while I haven't always been aware of this consciously, this has always been in the back of my mind. Ever since I've been aware of Bashar as a teacher, ever since I've been aware of this formula, it's like, okay, I'm broken. I feel broken. I know I'm not broken. No pity party, whatever. I feel broken. I feel absolutely fucked right now. Okay. I can always accept, acknowledge, and allow myself to feel what I need to feel. And then from there, I can follow my passion, which in this case, making videos, which before it was too, but I just wouldn't do it. You can always follow the passion to the best you were able. Do whatever, you know, make videos. Maybe making videos turns into editing. Maybe it doesn't, because that's illogical. You think, right? No, it doesn't always look like that. Maybe you build a backlog of videos and then you just unleash them on the world one day. You do a fuck ton of editing, you know, who knows? And throughout doing this, you can always tap in, and your passion, granted, can be, it doesn't have to be, oh, I need to follow my passion. It needs to be, oh, I get to follow my passion, right? From that energy, and you can pray. Be like, God, I am tapping in, and I'm attempting here. I'm intending here to pray without ceasing, to never stop praying, for you to always be with me. Where would you have me go? What would you have my passion be at this moment? At that moment, you send off that rocket of desire. Just be receptive to what comes to you. And if it's time to let go of a limiting belief of something that comes up, oh, it is time. And let it happen, or else. Let it happen, or continue to suffer. Let it happen, or continue to suffer and give it reality. By forgiving these things, we don't have to give it reality. We're actually removing reality, the reality we were giving it. We were giving it power. We're just unplugging and letting it vanish into the nothingness that it really never was, right? Wow. This has been a great video. I feel like I connected with a lot of you. I mean, just reflecting, like, this has been very powerful. I'm happy to continue on discussing real quick about this Bufo journey where I left off of. That is my long-term goal. And that is what I look forward to doing, is opening up a center and having facilitators and people that would be interested come, sit with the medicine, and have an integration process after. If that's something that would interest you, granted that I would be bringing as much expertise and knowledge to the table as possible from a very heart-centered place. I would intend to bring the best of the best, like Dr. John from New York, and Mateo, and a few names that probably none of you don't know who I'm talking about, but just people that are in the space, Dr. Martin Ball, that maybe would perhaps be interested in facilitating the opening of something great. So that is my goal. I intend to open like a center. You can tell by my language, it's still up in the air. My intention is to open a center in Mexico with this medicine. And upon doing that, I intend to create content surrounding it, promoting it. Also regular content too, such as I'm doing now. And once the word gets out, once some testimonials get out and people enjoy it, we can expand and open up multiple centers around the world, hopefully. And of course, we'll expand from this 5-MeO-DMT foundation that we've built. I also believe that Christ consciousness should come first and foremost. We should get an understanding of the ego, our higher self, our emotional guidance system, what guilt is, way before we even, think about moving it past that. Way before we even think about all this, we need something outside of ourselves, right? Let's get a foundation of we are our own salvation, right? Let's get a foundation that we are our own salvation before we even think that it's outside of it. All hail Bufo, all hail Bufo. That's not it. That's a distortion, okay? But it's been going on thousands of years. It's humanity. It's the world, Even beautiful centers like this, it's still the ego's playground. And us as the light of God are here to show up for that. I know this can seem enigmatic as I go on these tangents, but I say that to say God first, self, and then others. Even when opening this center, it's going to be God first, self, and then others. The intention is to serve others at max capacity and let that flourish into whatever it needs to be. Of course, music is still an interest of mine, as it is, I know, a few of you watching, as is sexual energy, big topic I love to ramble on about, food, so on and so forth. But that's the lofty goal, and I appreciate you guys for tuning in. Do all the things that keep us alive. Subscribe with the vibe, follow, leave a comment. Genuinely curious on what you think, of course. Thumbs up, like it, and tune in. Give me a shout. Till next time, peace.